Eti for mobile kwa so kraba ordinary TV. Yeti o man gan ma sia na de nka bi nshi mu ye mfadi ni nshi na beto dwa say Sam George etimi close down 2 FM stations won to me ni Asase FM anati for insin bebe 9 de beto dwa. Ne ne de dim kutpim wo amrehye bedwamu a tese parliamentary eti for de butubutu yi pa Afenyo Markins de ene de wakika bi akire Sam George ye pa just one fan man jene kura wadi bi no so gidi ama Sam George no shishi ni sisi ya just say for was put actions forward ama just say for the koso man gan ma say the for ano ye pa Sam George friend saying Afenyo Markins edin se bebre na ere etudwa se efrida NDC phone eba abemu je se enoma koso no etifo ano edin ye pam ebumu ka se ye ebumu so ka se nye manfo bi anka se ebumu so chire so ye no manu bi emum se wo se ye didie etuye na se ye na nyina afa mrakwa so tifo enkotie Afenyo Markins abra no de se na etudwa do bi so nya abra ehwe.
It comes without doubt that Article 296 has some questions for NCA and the ministry to answer. What we are seeing in respect of the statement from the presidency later this afternoon, a supposed clemency. Mr. Speaker, these are things that are done for the optics when the political system sees that there's a backlash. It is a very rich statement, very rich. And we take this supposed clemency with a pinch of salt. Mr. Speaker, we take this with a pinch of salt. That the NCA, together with the ministry, have embarked on a certain path, and now Mr. President, exercising his supervisory mandate, is now telling them that don't do it. Couldn't this have been discussed in-house prior to this decision? Well, Mr. Speaker, we have been in government before, so we can understand the situation the government finds itself. Mr. Speaker, I have heard certain views being expressed to the effect that, yesterday we heard of similar actions by the executive. I recall that as a member of the appointment committee, the issue of the closure of some radio stations became a critical matter for us to even discuss at the appointment committee. And our friends opposite were very, very firm in their conviction. And I shared those sentiments with them. Granted that something happened yesterday which was not good for our country. Do we have to repeat them? No. Since 1993, no one here can tell me that our democratic journey has been static. It's been very dynamic, it's been fluid. Things are done and improved upon. So in this reset regime, we expect better. No, Mr. Speaker, you do not break it and pretend to be fixing it when it's not broken. You broke it. So if you are fixing, then you say we should commend you, we should be happy. Mr. Speaker, Mr. President, clemency is a belated thing. It's because of the public backlash. I would want the NCA and the ministry to be strongly guided by Article 296 of the 1992 Constitution. A regulation cannot overreach and override an express constitutional provision. In the list, The regulation is to guide, but not to impede and stampede the process. What happened today, where Asasi Radio was shut down, Wuntumi FM was denied the opportunity to broadcast, Happy FM denied the opportunity to broadcast. Mr. Speaker, must not ever happen again. Because, Mr. Speaker, when same happened yesterday, it received that criticism. Mr. Speaker, I have with me, most respectfully, the Hansard of this House, October 19, 2017, column 998. Mr. Speaker, the work of a member of parliament is to make his advocacy and rely on records and rely on facts, rely on a reliable research team. And I cannot be making lame arguments here. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Sam George, at column 998, had this to say: I put it on record that the NCA failed to come before this august House in 2015 to approve their schedule of penalties, and that the schedule of penalties as used by the NCA in imposing this charge did not come before this august House of Parliament. As such, NCA is carrying out and perpetrating an illegality which this House must stop, because we are vested with upholding the 1992 Constitution. And I agree with you, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
Honourable members, order.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker,
Honourable members, order.
Mr. Speaker, this was the respected colleague who was inviting us to uphold the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, the gravamen of this submission was to the effect that the administrative body with regulatory powers was required by law to comply with certain provisions of the Constitution. And that is why he relied on the veritable words, we are vested with upholding the 1992 Constitution. Mr. Speaker, when authority is given by the Constitution, the same Constitution imposes an obligation on that authority. And I have said earlier that that limitation is clearly defined by Article 296. So clearly, I am saying that the respected Honorable Minister must not change his principles by virtue of his new position of honor. He fundamentally agrees that we must uphold the Constitution. And at the risk of being repetitive, the provisions in Article 162, as relied on supra, require of us not to impose any impediment. So if the regulation would impede press freedom, our duty as a house, as Honorable Sam George invited us to do, is to uphold the Constitution. It's our duty bona fide. So, Mr. Speaker, let's not justify in any way this attitude of shut down. If yesterday we were allowed on the rooftops that it is not good to suspend or shut down, then today let us maintain the same principle and say that we would rather have an administrative engagement. Why should Asase Radio be denied the opportunity to broadcast? Why?